I'm Terry Duran from Adaptive Star Mobility, and joining me today is
Michelle Jones, the president and founder of Wings of Texas. We're in the Coastal Bend and we assist individuals with disabilities in crossing as many finish lines as possible.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us, Michelle. We're so excited to visit with you today and to share with everybody our 10 plus year relationship with Wings of Texas and all the exciting things that y'all are doing in the Coastal Bend. So, cool. Michelle, can you tell us about Wings of Texas organization, who you are, what it is, and how you got started?
Sure. We have been around we're going on our 10th season now. We started by just going out. My husband and I went and did the Biggest Loser run in Austin. And it was just a way for us to start getting healthier because our son has cerebral palsy and he wasn't getting any younger and we weren't getting any younger. So we went out and did a 5K with him and we pushed him in his standard wheelchair. And people came up to us after the race and just thanked us and, said that he was the reason why they continued the run, how they got through it. And Biggest Loser says it all, right? The people out there were out there for, different milestones and stuff that they have met in their journey. So it was just great to hear. And he had a great time. He was waving, laughing, smiling. And we had seen the Ainsley's Angels chapter out there with some chairs. And I got a card from them. And on the way home from Austin, we formed Wings of Texas. And that's just how we came about.
Awesome. And so tell us who Charlie is. Tell us about the big deal.
The big deal. He was born 24 weeks. At 24 weeks, he was 1 pound, 5 ounces, 10 inches long. He spent the first 6 months in an ICU. When he left, he had already had over 60 surgeries. It's been a battle. For the first 2 years, we had over 100 different surgeries, 80 of those being brain surgeries for him. And, it's in the beginning, you want to blame, you figure out why. It took me a long time to realize that everybody has a purpose. And I feel like this was our purpose. And I'm a crybaby, so I apologize up front.
I agree 1,000,000%.
Yeah. So, that is just, it took us a while to find that purpose, but we found it and we have jumped in with everything that we have.
And, as our relationship has evolved, our friendship, and it's not just a friendship. I mean, we're family.
Yes.
You're stuck with me, That's just how it is.
Right.
That's the only way I know you guys to do things is when you make that commitment, you're all in 100% of the time. Yes. And to be part of that community, that family with you guys, it started in 2015 and I'll still never forgive you for that, by the way. I appreciate it so much. That commitment and that energy, and the sass that you bring to all of that, that Charlie brings to all of that. And then Rusty and Greg just put up with the rest of us.
That's right. They're the unsung heroes, as I like to say.
They absolutely are.
Yes.
How old's Charlie?
He is 24.
How did that happen? How did that happen?
They get old. I don't know. Yeah, it's still mind-boggling that, I look back at pictures from the last 10 years of Charlie and Lori and, all of our captains that we have. And it's amazing that we got to watch them grow and grow up to the young adults that they are today. And And that's one of the great things about our organization is we are a family. We're, we treat each other like a family. We have respect for each other. We're there on every level as a family. It's not we're going to run and then you go home. We've embraced this whole community that we've had, and we're definitely changing lives and changing the way that people in the Coastal Bend think of individuals with disabilities.
I have seen so much development. I mean, to me, it's been really noticeable over the last year, Michelle, as far as inclusion in your area.
Yes.
People, I think it was one of the council meetings that you and Thomas attended and talked about accessibility, and then having one of the council members later on say, well, let's remember the people that were just here and the things that they told us. And that is absolutely wonderful. And I wish we had more opportunities for that in other areas. And the fact that they're embracing in the Coastal Bend area is incredible. And thank you, because you guys are doing the hard work.
Yeah, it's been a journey, and one of the things that we have to learn as a parent of a child with disabilities, especially Charlie, he's nonverbal, so I will forever be his voice. I will have to be the one that beats my head against the walls and says the same thing over and over and over again. And like you said, it's just been the last couple years that I think that as we've grown, they realize that our organization isn't going anywhere. We've been here for 10 years, and they're starting to take notice and to respect and to actually value what we bring to the table, which has been really nice in our area to when, they are planning different things with cycling. And they brought us to the table with the engineers and said, what can we do to make cycling easier for your group? So, awesome. And for individuals with disabilities in general. So when you're invited to the table for those types of things, that really is a big deal. And it just shows that you've accomplished what we're doing has made a difference. And that's what's important.
Yes, absolutely. I couldn't say it better. Thank you guys so much. I love to get to be a part of it in the small way that we do. Just makes my heart happy. So, and of course, anytime that I get to see Charlie out on the road is even better than,
and by no means are you a small part. And, that's what I think, we value. Without you and Greg and your product, we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing in our community. 100%. If I didn't feel safe having my own child in the piece of equipment that you have for us, I wouldn't put all these other, individuals in the chair. So it's that peace of mind, knowing that they're safe and that nothing's going to fall apart, and just, it's nice to know that we have something that is a well-made product and it's safe to do the things that we do, because we go hard on your equipment, and we've had zero problems. And you guys have truly been a blessing in all of this and have allowed our family to, do the things and accomplish the things that we have. And it's because of you and Greg, and we really appreciate you.
Thank you very much. That means a lot. It really does. And it's, I reference you guys a lot in the conversations that I have with our team. I talk about Charlie a lot, from his dang little horn on his chair or his bell, because it doesn't mean what people think it
means. No.
To having him upside down in the elevator in his chair.
Yes. I'm telling you, we are hard on your equipment. We're proving that it's a good piece of equipment.
So thank you. I really do appreciate that. It's very important to us. There are some times that we have to say, no, we won't do that, or it can't be done that way. Because there is a lot of integrity that goes in there. There are, there's testing that we go through. There's parameters that we have to, to make sure that we stay within. And, so it's important to us that we don't compromise on that. So, yeah.
We appreciate that.
Thank you. How many people are part of Wings of Texas now?
We have over 96 angels, and then we have 50 captains on our roster. And we have switched things up a little bit. Our goal is now to, our mission statement is to make the Coastal Bend a more inclusive place to work, live, play, and learn. So we have kind of broadened, we're still cycling, we're still running, we're still doing triathlons. In the summertime, we're bowling. We have a ball that we have done the last 2 years, and we invite everybody with disabilities to this. And this year, the first year, we had 26 individuals with disabilities attend our ball. And this year there was 46, and we had over 130 people at it. So we've just kind of broadened what we're doing. We do the Spirit of the ADA Awards once a year. Just gives us an opportunity to thank people in our community that have made a difference in the lives of individuals with disabilities, have made it easier for them. And, it's a sit-down dinner. We give, really nice awards, and we've done that for the last 2 years. And that has also been a way for us to open the door to show what needs to be done and what is being done right in our community. So I think that we have reached another level. We're bringing people in that, just might not be interested in just running and just sitting in the chair. So we've kind of broadened that. We're doing a lot of trainings with police departments, with schools, just talking to them about individuals with disabilities and what those needs are and how to approach different things. So we've kind of broadened what we're doing in the community, and I think that has helped us a lot too.
And I've definitely seen it through the different events that you've been doing too. Not just running, not just the cycling events or the triathlons. The pictures and the posts that I've been seeing about the bowling league that you guys are doing, yes, which we're really excited to make a new stand for Charlie and everybody else.
Yes.
So you will have it. In fact, Greg and I talk about it often, and we're kind of working on some preliminary designs, and so we're excited to be able to help in another way too.
Yes.
And I, was not something, Michelle, even on my radar, and I try to be very open-minded and observant when I'm doing things. And our granddaughter's birthday party was at a bowling alley, and I saw a very similar situation, and I know if you guys are asking for it and you're asking about it, that there's a much broader need out there, and there's just one other way that we can help. But I've seen all of the different things that you guys are doing and pulling together. So you become much more than just what you started out to be.
Yes.
And the education and the showing everybody, it just because you have a disability doesn't mean you cannot participate in life and activities, and that you don't deserve these same things.
Exactly.
It's pretty incredible. So you mentioned angels and you mentioned captains. Tell us about that. Who are they?
Well, our captains are individuals with disabilities that we assist. So we either assist them in bowling. We go to ARD meetings with them to help get the things that they need. Running, cycling, anything that we do, because they're the captain of the team. They're the reason why we're here and what we're doing. Our angels are our volunteers that come out and, give their legs, give, their time, their energy. They just come out and help. And to us, they're angels.
I would agree. For sure. And as much as I love the angels, I, like Michelle and I are both goofballs. If there's going to be somebody loud at the party, It's usually us.
Yes, 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 yes.
Um,
We've proved that many a times.
we have done a time or two, yes. But to get out and dance with Charlie, or to dance with Lori, or Shannon, or Tony, all of the captains, it's wonderful. It's been a few years since I've seen Charlie, but I know when we talk in the car, if he hears me, he still knows who I am.
Oh, yes.
And I love that. So I love to be able to have that fun, silly connection. So, I mean, I kind of know the answer to this question, but I don't, not everybody does. What does being one of the founders of this organization and having started from grassroots to now, what does that mean to you?
It just, it's been a blessing. It's been wow. If you would have told me 10 years ago that we were going to be able to accomplish what we've accomplished, I would have never thought that we could. It's just, and I still look at it as, I'm doing what we're supposed to do. So to me, it's really not that big of a deal. It's not like an extra effort. It's not, this is my family, and this is just what I do, for my family. So,
Yep.
It has been an amazing ride, and it's allowed me to, you kind of think when you're put in a situation and you're raising an individual with disabilities that you get it, and I don't. I've learned that I don't know it all, and I am continuously growing, and I'm becoming a better person because of the people in my life right now, because of the captains and the Tonys and the Loris, and they have made me a better person, and that's what I'm getting out of all of this, and it just has truly changed my life, and it's made my family a stronger unit.
And I feel the same way. I'm a better person for what we get to do every day.
Mm-hmm.
And if we don't do it, who's going to?
Yes.
If not us, then who? And I'm sure you've had this question as well. Because we live and breathe this every single day. I mean, it is not just a 8 to 5 thing where we come in and we clock in and we clock out and we go home and we don't do it. We do our own thing. And there are times that we go home and we do our own thing, but it is, you have a day job. You have a profession that takes up your work day, and anything Wings of Texas is volunteer. This is not a paid position that you're doing this all day long and being paid to do this. This is a volunteer for you. So you're doing it after you've worked a full day, whatever that means. I mean, it might be sending out emails about a race day, or it might mean equipment maintenance for Rusty after he's worked all day, or, it might mean, going to an event and educating for you and for Thomas after you've put in full days of work and other things. So for us, that carries over. If you're in the midst of something and, Rusty is stuck on an equipment issue, he's going to call, and we're going to take that call. Especially, I know if Rusty calls, it's serious. Because that doesn't happen very often.
Right.
But this for us is what we're supposed to do.
Yes.
This is it, and it took us a long time to get to where we are at. And Greg has said this before, is there is not a day that we get up to come to work that we don't want to come to work. We want to come to work because we get to do this every day, and we might be home doing something, or we might be off at a fundraiser or supporting another program. And if I get a phone call from somebody, we'll step away and take it, because I know they wouldn't be calling if they didn't need something.
Right.
So we have people that don't understand that. They're like, why? And my response is, why not? And why, if we don't do it, who's who's going to?
Right.
So I love the fact that we have that same passion. And I think that's a huge reason why we connected so well in 2015.
Yes.
Not everybody knows what Michelle did to me, so I'm going to tell the world what she did. So this was my first time meeting Michelle at the Louisiana Marathon in 2015. And I'm the ugliest runner you have ever seen in your life. And I'm only the 5K girl. That's my limit. And Michelle said, what's your pace? And I said, the slowest team you have, like the one that almost goes backwards, that's me. Okay, I'll put you with the boys. And I'm thinking, really, really, really old men that can barely move, or really, really young kids that are just going to kind of play as we do this 5K. So race morning, I'm, and nobody told me not to drink so much Zip Fizz, by the way, either. So I'm like a bubble on a hot stove, even more than usual. And I show up race day morning, and I'm thinking it's not going to be that cold, but Baton Rouge was cold that year.
Oh, yes.
My toes were freezing. And I go meet Michelle and Rusty at the equipment trailer, and they introduced me to the team I'm going to run with that day. And I, first of all, was honored that I got to run with Charlie.
Yes.
And then I got to meet the 5 young Marines that Michelle paired me with.
Hey, I put you with some good looking guys. I'm a great friend.
Yes, they were all very handsome young men. You know, most of them were the age of my children, mind you, but you know, and I now understand that you put me with them because no man left behind was really the theory that they were not going to leave me behind. And they did not leave me behind. And I started off, when we took off hard, which was wrong. Oh, yeah. And they thought, cool, we're going to get a good run in. And I didn't last very long. And then some of them were going so slow, they were dancing circles around me and Charlie as we're doing the run. That was my first introduction to my dear, sweet friend, Michelle Jones.
Hey, I figured if you were going to be making these chairs, you needed to run with these chairs. And it's just like the first time she came to Corpus Christi, I went to the bike shop, got her a bike, and made her pull.
And I did a darn good job.
You did, and you did a great job. Yes.
That was so much fun. And next year when we come, I would love to ride again.
Yes.
Absolutely. Is Tom still in the area?
He is not. He's traveling the world. I mean, they sold the bike shop, but we still have a really great relationship with the current owners. But no, right now he's in Jerusalem. And he's just him and Killer are traveling the world, and
oh my God,
they're having a great time doing it, and they're cycling all over the world, and they're living the dream.
Oh my goodness. Wow. He is, first of all, he's a very handsome Texan.
Yes.
And just the sweetest man ever. And I had so much fun riding with him. And his are you ready? Are you ready? And I'm thinking, what are we doing? And coming up alongside of me and just putting his hand on the small of my back, and away we went. And I mean, just wonderful memories. Thank you so much.
Yes, always. You'll always have interesting memories when I'm around.
And I expect that, and I love that very much. So tell me about some of the other organizations in your area that you work with, that you guys, whether it is a Rotary Club or a hospital. Tell me about those relationships.
Driscoll Health Plan is our largest children's hospital in the area is Driscoll Children's Hospital. And we have Driscoll Health Plan. And they have embraced us and have been one of our main sponsors for years and years now. And we've helped them with education, just doing different trainings with them as well. Thomas is involved in Leadership Corpus Christi. Our organizations sent him to Leadership Corpus Christi 2 years ago. And now he is the assistant teacher for it. And next year he will be leading the whole class. And that has opened so many doors for us for the organization to send him and give him that opportunity. Just the people that he's met along the way, representatives, state representatives, just different people. And I think that has definitely been one of the reasons why we have come so far too. And it's been a blessing for, Thomas has always been, he's my oldest son, by the way.
I was just going to say, tell us who Thomas is, because I know and love Thomas dearly, and he's another unsung hero. He's the behind the scenes, always there, but always kind of quiet.
Yeah, he was 10 years old when Charlie was born, and the doctors told us at that time that, your child is either going to embrace the situation that, you'll be in, or they are going to go completely left field and just, lash out. Maybe not, always in a really, really bad way, but just kind of have those emotions. And I really think that Thomas truly embraced it. And I didn't realize until he went to law school in Washington, D.C., because he has always dreamed of going into politics. And so he spent time in Washington, D.C., and then he came back and he said, "It's not what I want to do anymore." I guess he went and he lived among them and hung out with, the different political people and different things. And it just wasn't what he wanted to do. So he came home and he is working, he has helped change our city, make a difference in our city for individuals with disabilities. And as a parent, I couldn't be any prouder. And, to have his peers come up to, you and hear them say, they're up there giving a speech about the class, and to hear them say, that Thomas, because he went to one of the most prestigious law schools in the United States, could be making tons of money, could be, doing so much more. And he has come back to change his community and to give back to his community. Just as a parent, it just really, really touches you. And I promise you it wasn't me. It was Charlie. Charlie, he's changed so many lives. And, I just wish that I could just have like a little piece of the amount of lives that he has changed, and I wish that I could change, lives like he does. But, and for a little boy who can't talk and who can't walk to be able to accomplish what he has. And I'm glad that his brother sees that. And, we're here to help him, and help him get through and help him change those lives every step of the way. So that's what we're doing here in Corpus.
Yeah. Thomas is such a sweet man. So kind, so loving, so patient.
Everybody but me.
And you had said he could be doing so much more, but I think he's doing exactly what he was meant to do. And this is more than anything in the world. The advocating that he's doing, the educating that he is doing is the most important thing.
Yes.
It absolutely is. And to know that I have a friend who I love dearly that's doing those things and I'm honored that we're friends.
Yes.
And I think he feels the same way. I think that he knows that he can call and say, "Hey, what do you think of this?" And he did that not long ago. Well, he didn't make the call. You made the call, but he said, call Terry.
Yes.
I yeah, I'm in awe of him often. And I should reach out and tell him that, and I don't, because I know a lot of the things that are going on, that he's behind the scenes facilitating a lot of that, just because I know him,
Yes.
well, I guess. And I know that you nor I would probably be able to articulate things that well.
Right. So I tend to just come out.
we do that. We do that. It's the red hair. I'm telling you, it's the red hair. Yeah.
He tends to, skirt around it and make it a little bit more politically correct.
And we love him for that. We do.
Yes.
Are there people, are there companies, is there anybody or an entity that you feel you want to give an extra shout out to?
So many, it's hard. But recently, we had a couple of our angels work for Valero, which is a huge oil. We're Texas. We're an oil industry. So we have Valero out here, and they have a Valero Open, and it is a golf tournament, and it's actually up there with the PGA, and they they like millions of dollars for charities around Texas, and you have to be invited to apply for this, and you have to be changing the lives of children within the Coastal Bend. And we got nominated by a couple of our angels, and the first year they bought us a couple chairs. The second year they bought us a couple chairs. Then COVID hit, and they did like a fundraiser for us, a barbecue. So we've stayed very active in their database. And then last year they came to Thomas and they said, we're focusing on groups that service individuals with disabilities. And they said, what is your wish? You tell us you want chairs. And he said, what do you mean? What's our wish? And I said, well, what do you need? And he said, we've talked about it, and Thomas can't go and do smaller runs because he's not a real Texan. He's actually from California, I'm sorry to say, but he cannot drive Dad's F-350.
Big truck.
He isn't going to do it. So he said, we would like a van to be able to pull the smaller trailer and to be able to take to events. And, we have captains like Lori who live with grandma and can't get to these out of town events and stuff. So we always take Lori and grandma with us. And so they said, okay, well, let's make it happen. So last year we got a grant for $55,000 to, to buy a van, and we had it wrapped, and man, we look very legit. So they deserve
pretty cool. Let me tell you.
Yes. Yeah. They deserve a huge shout out because, people see us now, and it's been nice too, because we started up our cycling program again. When I was off my bike for a good, maybe 6 years because I put, I jump, like we said, I jump in with both feet, and I was training for Ironman, and and it got to the point where I just I didn't want to look at my bike for a while. But I was told that I have arthritis in my knee and that I needed a knee replacement. And the doctor said, but I'm not going to give you one. And I said, well, why? And he said, because you'll be back in here a year later because you are the honey badger and you don't care what I say. And I'll be replacing that knee every year. So he said, we just got to figure it out. So I talked to one of our angels who's a PT. It's been nice because, we have people in our back pocket in every way that you can think of that's helped us along the way. So, I started going to PT and I told Steve, I'm going to get back on that bike. And I got back on the bike, dropped 20 pounds, and I'm training for a half marathon, no knee replacement and no pain. So,
Awesome.
it's little things like that have, come full circle and have helped us, along the way. But we started the cycling program again, and
Awesome.
we feel a lot safer having our captains out on the course because we have Thomas is able to follow us with that big van and his flashing lights, and so it's been a way for safety as well, to make sure that our captains are safe out there and he can ride behind us and block that traffic and different things. So the van has been not only to make us look very legit, but it also has been amazing for safety and just all the way around. So Valero deserves a huge shout out for for that. And of course, we've had so many organizations that have stepped up, and our fleet is pretty big. Our fleet of chairs, and we're very proud of every one of our chairs. And we have the best equipment manager around who,
By far you do. I tell people about Rusty all the time. I tell them, first and foremost, you need to have an equipment manager. And they, and all the things. And they're like, well, we don't know how we're going to do this. And I said, well, let me give you just a little few tidbits about Rusty Jones from Wings of Texas. Texas, I said, and they're on the coastal bend. So they're in the worst place in the world to maintain equipment. Salt and sand are your worst enemy. And I mean, very rarely does Rusty reach out about needing any additional parts or needing this or needing that. The pain that he goes through for equipment maintenance is amazing to me. Far and above anybody else I know, to be honest.
Well, and I think it's helped too. He was, I spent a long time in the Navy, and for the last 27 years, he's been, contracted with the Navy to do maintenance on $1 million aircraft. So, you don't mess around with the aircraft, and you don't mess around with Rusty's chairs. So I'm just saying.
Two things we don't mess with. There we go.
Yeah, he keeps them maintained, and there's not many people that he allows to touch the equipment or to do. And that, we were talking about unsung heroes, but he is, in the beginning, he told me, I don't like to run. I'm not a runner. That's why I joined the Navy and not the Marines, because I wasn't going to run. But he gets out there and he runs, and he doesn't complain, and he shows up an hour before anybody else to get all the chairs ready and to make sure that they're safe, and to run with them all to make sure that the wheels are all lined and everything like that beforehand. And we thought, getting older, our marathon days were behind us, but one of our good friends decided she wanted to run Houston Marathon, and Rusty said, I'll train with you, and we'll take Charlie, and we're going to PR a marathon. So, he had to throw me aside so that he could PR a marathon, but I'm okay, because I like to just get out there and have a good time. And my motto is that I am spreading inclusion the longest on the course, and I don't care what anybody else says.
And that's how it is supposed to be. That is my mission as well. I bring up the rear. We make everybody laugh. We have a good time. It's not just about going fast.
Yes. Yep. Somebody has to be out there and make sure that everybody else gets across the finish line. So
right. Yeah.
That's me, my job.
The best, absolute best finish line today that I've ever crossed was Louisiana with Charlie.
Aw.
He was a game changer for me that day. He really, truly was. Um, we, because of a dear sister friend that needed some equipment and needed some things, it helped push us towards Adaptive Star. Riley Davis, the sweet, sweet love bug that she was, that needed equipment that nobody else would help her family with, were two huge inspirations for us. Charlie's been the other, and he has been for a long time now. And he touched my heart that day, and one more life that he changed, honestly. And then I got you and Rusty and Thomas as the bonus.
Gonna come along with that package. Sorry.
A package deal. It crossing the finish line with Charlie that day, and then we were all at the park and eating food and drinking beer and laughing, and I don't know how many trips Rusty made back to the trailer. And I just saw this parallel between our families of, you and I are these big personalities, and we can be loud and we can be intimidating to some people. Yeah. We're not everybody's cup of tea. We're not, and that's okay. Yes. And then there's these strong, amazing men that kind of just stand back and they're quiet and they grumble at us about things when nobody else notices. But they're the ones making all those trips back to the trailer to get a tire pump or to get this or to get that or to do this. And they never complain. They're there supporting us and doing all of those things that need to be done. Our kids, our relationship just naturally developed through all of that. And I'm so thankful for it. So,
I agree. Now, can I tell my one pet peeve? I have one pet peeve with you. Can I at least talk about that? Are you going to give me a moment to talk about this?
Oh, sure.
So, as I said, we jump in with both feet with everything we do. And when we started, we had a football training run. And we never watched football. We never, weren't into football or anything. And two of our angels, they are huge Bill and Fancy. So they're from Wisconsin, or Bill's from Wisconsin. So he bought Charlie a Packers jersey. So that Sunday, I put the Packers jersey on Charlie, and he was waving and having the best time watching football. And so then the next week, I thought, okay, well, we're going to do this again and see what happens. So we did the same thing. And then Rusty flipped it to the Cowboys game. And I kid you not, that little boy turned around and wouldn't even look at the TV. So we decided, okay, so he is going to be a Packers fan. So, I had to support him. I jumped in with both feet, became a Packers fan, but my husband does not like cheese. He hates cheese. And so I talked to Terry and I said, Rusty does not want to be a cheesehead, but he doesn't know what he wants to do. So the next week shows up at our house, a Seahawks jersey. And he was like, these are the best colors ever. So what does he do? He decided to be a Seahawks fan. So we immediately become house divided. We've already taken Charlie to Lambeau Field. We've went, my husband and I went to Seahawks games with Terry. We jump, we're all in when we get into something. But the biggest thing yet has been Charlie was getting a new chair. And I said, we just need, he needs a better chair. We're doing all this stuff with him. And she said, okay, so you're going to trust me and let me do. And I said, yeah, you just do whatever you need to do. It's all good. I trust you 100%. Well, that was a big mistake, because what comes in the mail? A Hawk's Nest chair. It is a Seahawks chair, and you got this little cheese head sitting in the Hawk's Nest. But the funny thing is we put like little seatbelt holder things on the roll bars. you know, those pads that they have for the seatbelts and they say Packers on them.
Mhm.
Everybody will say, "Go Pack Go," when they see his shoes and those little things. And Rusty gets so mad because he's like, he's sitting in a Seahawks chair. I don't know what to tell you. But so that's probably my biggest pet peeve is my poor little cheesehead has to sit in this Seahawks chair that Miss Terry sent him. And that's the
Well,
story we tell everybody because they're like, Charlie, what's the deal with that chair? Why are you in a sea? Oh, let me tell you all about that.
well, at least we're never forgotten.
This
I
is
mean,
true.
you know.
This is true. And the first Packers Seahawks game that Rusty and I went to was in December and it was in Lambeau.
I
And
remember.
nobody was sitting because it was so cold and it's full of snow. And I am cheering for both teams. And Rusty said, if you don't sit down and stop, you are confusing the hell out of everybody in this stadium right now. They don't know who you want to cheer for. But, you know, that's the thing is, you know, I love my Packers, but next, you know, as long as we're not playing each other, then we're good. You know, I love the Seahawks as well, but, you know, my Packers have to win out somewhere.
Oh, and I had so much fun designing those. I was like, Michelle.
I'm sure you did, because when it came, I was like, what? If you could have seen my face, like, are you kidding me right now? No, she didn't. And then you wonder, you know, why I put you with some Marines.
Oh, well, that was
That was
before
actually
that.
first.
That
So
was
what's the
before.
first?
You threw me under that bus long before the hospice.
I'm sure Greg was sitting back there going, I don't know if you want to do this.
He may have questioned that. He's like, are you sure? Like,
No.
oh, absolutely.
You guys gave it to us when we came to Seattle. You delivered it. That's right. So you actually personally delivered it when we came to Seattle, remember, for the rock and roll.
We did,
Yes.
didn't we? Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Because that was the first rock and roll that they ever allowed chairs in because, you know, I called and stepped up to the plate and yes.
Oh my gosh. Wonderful memories.
Yes.
Such good times.
Many.
What's next, Michelle? What great things is Wings of Texas working on?
Just you know, education and to make the Coastal Bend a more inclusive place to live, learn, laugh, and play. You know, I mean, it doesn't get any simpler than that, and it's not something that we shouldn't be doing. Everybody should be doing it, and it's just you know, that's my mission. I'm going to you know, just make sure that you know, individuals with disabilities are accepted in everything that they do and they deserve it. And, you know, I mean, it's really not rocket science, right? I mean, it's something that, you know, we should have been doing all along. And so, you know, that's what's next. We'll just keep pushing forward and just keep making it, you know, a better place.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And I love that we get to be a part of it and that you share all the things with us and we get to see you. We actually get to see you in person next year.
Yes.
So Greg and I will be there.
We're doing our Spirit of the ADA Awards and it's our 10-year anniversary. So the presidential award is going to be going to Adaptive Star just because we know as an organization that we wouldn't be where we are without you all the last 10 years. And I cannot say it enough that, you know, how important, safety and, you know, all of that is to me. And, you know, we've had a lot of discussions about that. You know, I feel 100% safe putting anybody in your equipment, and that has been a game changer for what we've been able to accomplish. So I know without Adaptive Star we wouldn't be able to accomplish what we have accomplished, and to be able to help Charlie with his purpose. So we 100% appreciate you and Greg, and we love you guys, and thank you again.
Oh my gosh. We love you too so much. Thank you. Thank you. We're excited to be there next year. We're trying to make a little vacation time out of it.
That'll be a first, right?
Right? We took a vacation last year.
Yep. Yeah. Well, hey,
we did a little one, but we did it.
Maybe there'll be a Spasmatics concert when Greg comes to town. We can show him.
Oh my God. Oh, that was a treat. Yes, that was a treat.
No, the treat was Thomas and all his little friends trying to buy us shots to see what we were going to do next.
Oh, goodness. Yes, yes, yeah, yeah.
Gotta keep them guessing. Gotta keep them guessing.
Always. Never a dull moment, my friend. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Michelle, thank you so much for joining me today. I know we were a little all over the place, which you and I tend to do. So that's nothing new to us. It just might be to everybody else. If people in the Coastal Bend area want to reach out and learn more about Wings of Texas, join you all at an event, participate with you, how do they do that?
They can find us on Facebook through Wings of Texas, or our website is www.mtt/wingsoftexas.org. And we would love to have you. And, again, if you're looking for a piece of adaptive equipment, I highly recommend this amazing company that has kept my son and all of his friends safe for years. And we love them, and we appreciate everything that you and Greg do. I cannot thank you enough, Terry, for once again, allowing us to, help Charlie with his purpose and our family's purpose. And again, we wouldn't have been able to do any of it without you.
Thank you very much. That means a lot to me. To all of us. We talk about the Jones family often in our company, shenanigans and all.
Yes.
So I'm excited to see you guys live and in person next year.
Yes.
And we will talk a lot in between until then. And you guys take care, and we love you. Thank you.
Love you too. Thank you.
Later, my friend.